thanks for the introduction. As you already said, we are Glasskube. We are from a young startup from Vienna and want to change how open source tools are deployed in Kubernetes clusters. We prepared a small presentation to give you an overview about us, about our technology, and our values, which we mostly share with you. And we're very happy to got in touch. So let me check how to share the screen.
It's also amazing because I see you twice, Philip. I see you on the here on this one and on this one. So
perfect. Okay, it doesn't let me. I can.
It's the third button from the left, and then
Yes,
you need to choose the either whole screen or the window.
I wanted to share only the Firefox, but it did not let me do it. But it should work now. Perfect.
It does.
Yes, we are Glasskube, and one of our core values is digital sovereignty. We want to empower every company to regain control over the data. And one of the biggest hurdles we saw in our previous experience is really the installation, but especially the operation, data operation, and keep securing open source tools. So what we are building is really an open source Kubernetes operator that is able to install and deploy these open source tools. Currently, we are supporting, we had our 0.10 release this week, and we're currently supporting 10 open source tools with the highlights of Nextcloud, GitLab, and HashiCorp Vault, which we can easily install, and also provide some kind of easy abstractions for configurations, like you can configure a Nextcloud easily with an S3 bucket. You can configure a HashiCorp Vault in a way that it automatically unseals with another other vault, or have really best practices in your example Nextcloud setup, where we automatically tune PRP configurations in order to, and if not, it will be adjusted. And as we are extending the Kubernetes API, the custom resource changes of the custom resources will be sent to our operator, and our operator can easily achieve the desired state. And obviously, using the operator approach, we can first create a database, then wait for the status of the database, and if the database is ready, we can deploy. We can start the deployment, which will create replica sets, create pods, and if everything is ready, we can then set the status of our customer resource screen and can report back to the user when everything is up and running. So as we already talked about managed experience, we also have a small demo for you, so you can really see how it works and how it would look like. Let's see. I think I shared my whole screen, so should still. Yeah, this is the Kubernetes operator. I think Louis already posted it into the chat, and this is the console if it would be deployed into a cloud service provider, where you can see all the services you as a user have already installed. We're talking about Metabase or Matomo, and let's see if we want to configure GitLab. For example, GitLab has multiple features like container registry, which can be enabled and disabled. You can obviously set custom host names and also easily add CI/CD runners. Let's say we want to add a CI/CD runner. We go to the GitLab console first, create a token. Let's untag jobs should be run as we would make text. We create a runner. Then we just need to copy the runner token, add it as a runner, and in the back, no, we don't remove it. We want to save it, and in the background we will then also provision a new. Yeah, see there will be new runner provisioned in the background, and we can go back later and see if the runner was successfully provisioned. But in the last row, we saw there's a Nextcloud not yet final provision. So you probably just clicked on the Nextcloud application in your cloud service provider section, and you got the link to the console. And now we need to finalize the Nextcloud. So obviously, this Sovereign Cloud Stack also heavily uses a Nextcloud. The only thing which we cannot do automatically is the default phone region. So we set it to Germany, and are able to provision it. And this is everything which user needs to make. In the background, we will, in this case, where we have like an S3 integration, create an IAM user, as Nextcloud can automatically create the buckets. We will set the buckets to auto-create and make sure everything works. So I think we still need to wait a little bit to see if now we see the Nextcloud is ready to take a look, but it will take a look until it's configured. There we'll get another email, but we can take a look and see if the GitLab is the runner is already there. It should take a little bit to boot up, but let's go it in a different way where we go directly to the admin console and can wait to see if the runner, yes, 1 minute ago, the runner successfully connected already. And yeah, we created it 1 minute ago. It's online, so the GitLab could take over your jobs. So I think we also need a little. We also did a little bit of a demo, but we also want to do it interactive. So are there any questions up front? We want to ask, else we could also give us what summarized what we talked with Jan, one of your container POs. No. Yes.
So any questions at this point? Maybe not yet.
I have one question. Yes. So why have you decided to write it in Kotlin?
Yes, this is a very good question. We also looked at the operator SDK. Our team has a most proficient in Kotlin, and as is the first Kubernetes operator we wrote, we didn't want to do a new technology and a new language. So we said we stick to the language we know best, which is Kotlin, and went on a research and see are there any frameworks or SDKs which we can use. And actually, there is a great support of the Java and Kotlin ecosystem. There's like the Fabric 8 Kubernetes client and the Java Operator SDK, which abstracts a lot of the usage. So we can really use Kotlin annotation, for example, using dependent resources. We can use annotations for discriminators, and the first proof of concept gave us a very good feeling and a very good idea of how our operator in Kotlin could work, and we tried it out, and it actually worked perfectly. We don't need to just use an operator SDK, which will then create a lot of boilerplates via command line, but the operator can be easily installed in the cluster. Yes, it will take 200 or 300 megabytes more memory, but debugging capabilities and our knowledge and using Kotlin was the main factor in using it. And actually, we are not looking back at the decision. We are very happy because we are coming from a developer point of view and not really from an operations point of view. So our goal is not to put scripts on top of each other and then have a huge file with a lot of steps, but we really want to put all the logic into an application, and this is why we chose Kotlin. And yeah, obviously in the background we all only interact with the Kubernetes API, which are REST calls. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you use a Java REST client or the Go REST client to interact with the Kubernetes API.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. This was my first guess that you is Kotlin, and yeah.
Yeah, but it's good to see that Golang is not the only choice you have if you want to create operators. Good, Philip. You wanted to share some more with us before we open up for more questions, or?
Yes, I will also give a little bit of what we did. We talked with Jan from the I think he's the container PO, if I remember correctly, and we are
Yes.
looking. He's looking into the cluster API approach, and we might integrate here as an example Helm installations. Our operators easily installable with Helm, and the only project in the cluster API repo currently is, I think it was Cilium, which will be installed via Helm, and we can work together in a way, which was just a quick call this week, but we are very happy to work together and also contribute here to provide a managed solution on top of the cluster API approach.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, just maybe a global comment. I think you have a very similar understanding and approach to achieving digital sovereignty by wanting to have a large ecosystem of open source solutions that people can put together. And I mean, basically, we cover the infrastructure and the Kubernetes layer, and we have a few things we can do on top of the Kubernetes layer out of our own project, like, for example, providing the Harbor repository for a container registry. But at some point, we basically say, well, we need to now create ecosystems that live on top of the provided infrastructure. And I think that's exactly where you start. So I think this is very, very nicely fitting on top of what we do, then also having a nice sovereignty story together to have like the complete stack open and under control, which I think is really great. One question that comes to my mind is, I have observed a bit, and I should probably say observed from a very high level view, a project from the meanwhile Eclipse Foundation that's called Open Services Cloud, and I think they have just renamed it to Expand, and they are trying to establish a framework that allows you to create something like a marketplace and to have like standard integration points for applications on top of the infrastructure. Are you working with them? Have you looked into what they are doing? Is this relevant to you?
Actually, I'm not aware. Is it also based on Kubernetes?
I think Kubernetes is one of the possible infrastructure layers. I think they are open to have multiple different targets there, which actually may be their biggest selling point, or maybe it's their biggest weakness, depending on how you look at it.
No, actually, I haven't looked at it yet, but thank you. It's definitely super interesting, and I think we'll look into it, and maybe, of course, there will be something to learn from it. How was it called? It was from the Eclipse Foundation. It was.
Yeah, I think that the old name was Open Services Cloud, and it's now Expanse, XPANSE. I'll put it into the chat window. So yeah, great. But I shouldn't monopolize the questions. Any other questions to Philip or maybe Luis?
The sharing. So I'm still sharing.
But yeah, maybe also from a comment from my side, since we're also developing open source, I posted the link in the chat. You can check out the operator yourself. Maybe also give us feedback. We had already great feedback from people who tried it. I think we have to still work on our documentation. So that's going to be updated in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's already fully functional. So yeah, it would be also great for us if you check it out. We're always happy if you leave a star and give us feedback and use it. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to put this on top of the clusters that we create every day, and see how it works, and then also maybe together look at, I mean, what are the standard services or standard applications that we want to bring onto the platform using this framework. I guess that's going. I guess it's open to offer a huge range, because I mean there's a lot of open source code out there. Do I understand this correctly, Philip, that basically for each service, for each application that you want to integrate into Glasskube, you need to create a certain amount of configuration or a certain amount of code, so the operator knows how to manage the application, right?
You will need to create a custom resource, but in the most cases it will just need your host name under which the application should be reachable, and some special parameters, like if you want to have your custom SMTP for emails, or in case of for Git, for example, you want to enable or disable the public registration. But that's it. Everything else, the operator will take care of. So the operator will know in which cloud environment you are, which ingress classes you have available, which storage classes you have available, how to annotate certain resources in order to get it work. And we follow the approach to have like a convention over configuration. So we really try to make it as easy as possible to get started with open source tools, and convert really one single YAML file with 3 lines into a full working setup, including databases, backups. So we will have our own min.io where we have backups pre-configured in your cluster, and all the services, deployments, pods, and also make sure that all the updates work. So if you update to the latest operator, all the managed services will then automatically update to the latest version. And if there are some migrations, the operator will perform the migrations for you. Yes.
Nice. I'm really looking forward to trying it out.
Yes.
Okay, then final request for questions. Yeah, and we also ran out of time, I see. Well, then let me thank you very much, Philip and Luis, for joining us and to showing the nice work you're doing. And I hope to see some nice collaboration going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.